let's talk about our way. Remember you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. We'll talk about Huda. We'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. Remember you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, dear viewers, to another live episode of Viewers Pulse, and I'm your host of the program, Junaid Dar. Dear viewers, it gives me great pleasure to announce to you today that we have a fantastic program with a number of different clips and a number of different bits of information that we want to bring forward to you today. So I'd like to begin by thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for bringing us together here to serve His beautiful deen. Furthermore, I'd like to thank all the viewers for giving us their continual support to make this channel a success that it is. And not just that, but I would also like to reach my hand out and give a big thanks to the channel Huda TV and all those working behind the cameras who make these programs possible, put these things together, and inshallah ta'ala we are able to benefit from that. Dear viewers, Viewers Pulse is your program. This is the hour where you get to communicate with myself and the channel. You can bring forward your ideas. It's your opportunity to serve the beautiful deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's your opportunity to bring forward your ideas. Not just that, but we actually want to hear your questions, your comments, your thoughts. Even if you have positive criticism, we'd welcome it here and we'd like to address it and try to improve those activities that we are doing. Not just that, but dear brothers and sisters, we want to make this program or this channel itself the best channel for your services. We want to provide the best programs which are tackling up-to-date topics, talking about issues that you want to hear with guests and speakers from around the world who you feel that are important, who are pertinent to our affairs today. So we need to hear from you and want to hear how we can improve things or how we can introduce new ideas, new concepts. It's all in your hands. And we encourage you all to get close to the various means of communication that I'm going to mention to you in just a few moments for you to give us those ideas. Now, let's start from the top. How can you communicate with us here at Huda TV? The very first way you can communicate with us is by getting close to your phone. If you look across the screen, you will see both of our numbers running across the screen there. And you can call us on either of the two, and your phone call will be addressed to us live here in the studio, and I will try my very best to try to answer your question or your query. If I am unable, I will put it forward to those who are more qualified. So please do call us, make the program interactive, and we love to hear whatever you have to say. Now, our second means of communication would take you to the email. If you're unable to get to your phone, you can always email us at pulse@huda.tv, and the email is a direct form of communication and it's free, as you know. So please do email us, and we read every single one of your emails, and we have a dedicated team which looks into your emails and they respond accordingly. So please do email us and give us any query, any question that you have on your mind, and we will respond to you in the quickest time that we can. Furthermore, the next mode of communication is through Facebook. So if you jump into Facebook, type in facebook.com/Huda TV. Now, the Facebook page is one of my personal favorites. Why? Firstly, because I enjoy using Facebook, and secondly, because our Facebook page is very bright, colorful, full of information, full of Islamic reminders, full of Islamic lectures. There are so much you can do on our Facebook page, and I strongly encourage you to jump onto there and to like it and to share it. Not just that, but it gives me great pleasure. It gives me great pleasure to say that we have now transpassed 280,000 likes. My dear brothers and sisters, that's edging on to 300,000, 250,000, and this is due to your hard work. So again, I encourage you all to share and to like our page, to give it to your friends, to give it to your families, and get them all to like it as well, because it is all for the service of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now imagine you give this page, or you forward your page to your friend or a family member, and then they use this page for some good. They learn something new. They implement something in their lives. The page has some kind of positive effect in their lives. You will get the reward for that. Every single time that person will engage in that good that you encourage them to do, you will get the reward of that as well as them. So let's hasten to do these good deeds, and let's hasten to improve our Facebook page and to improve the number of likes as well. Not just that, but there's something very important on our Facebook page, and that is the link to our official Huda TV webpage. Now, once you get onto our official webpage, you will see that you can see an itinerary or an array of programs that we air during the week. You will see everything there, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you can choose the programs that suit your schedule, and you can make that plan accordingly. Not just that, but there is also a section on our official webpage which is for the sisters. And there is another one which gives you regular articles. We try to put up there up-to-date articles tackling modern or classical issues with the best content that we can find. And not just that, but you will also see information about those scholars that are involved with Huda TV, those sitting in front of the cameras, and those also behind the cameras who are giving us their moral support. And not just that, but you can also see or get some information about the presenters. What do they do in their spare times? What do they do behind the camera? So please do go onto our official page and you will see all that information there. Now, our next form of communication will take you to our Twitter account. If you jump onto Twitter, twitter.com/Huda TV channel. Now, our Twitter account is very important. Why? Because it links you direct to our Facebook page. So anytime there is anything new, any reminder, any lecture, any news, anything that we have to put up on our page, you will see that come straight into your Twitter account. You will see your phone or your device bleep, and you can stay in contact with us 24 hours of the day, 7 days a week. So I strongly recommend you to subscribe and to join us on Twitter so that you can join this great family and this great unity of Islamic work. The next mode of communication takes you to YouTube. If you jump onto YouTube and you type in Huda TV, you will see our page. Now, this is probably the most important form of communication. Why do I say that? It's because Huda TV is a TV channel. So we have all of our programs there, and you can watch everything by live streaming. All you've got to do is just click the button and you'll be able to watch all of our programs for absolutely free, 24 hours of the day, 7 days a week, and you can enjoy it sitting in the comfort of your own home. Not just that, but don't forget the archive. You have all the different lectures, all the programs that we have produced are saved up on our YouTube page, so you can choose whichever lecture you want to hear or listen to according to the speaker or according to the topic or according to the date, as you feel comfortable. So please do join us on YouTube. And not just that, but don't forget the most important part, and that's to subscribe. So please do press that button and please do subscribe to our channel. It's an Islamic channel, and we are trying our very best to spread the teachings, the authentic teachings, should I say, of the Quran and of the Sunnah. So please do subscribe, and please do introduce our YouTube page to your friends and your families also. That brings us to the very last mode of communication, and that is through Skype. Our Skype address, as you can see there, running across your screens, is Huda_TV. So please do join us there, add us as your friends, and we are regularly green, so we are online. You can give us your comments, you can give us any kind of information you want to give, or even a discussion. If you want to talk to us, we are willing to answer your Skype calls and respond accordingly. So please do join us on all those various forms of communication. And today our program is very special. Do you know why? If you've seen our Facebook page, you will understand why. Because our topic of the day is actually social media. All those things that I have just discussed are our topic of the day. And it's very important that we understand this in the context of the program. So if we will shortly see the image that we have put up on our Facebook page talking about the pros and the cons of social media. Now, this is a very important subject because social media has its advantages and has its disadvantages. From amongst the advantages is ourselves here at Huda TV and yourselves watching and benefiting greatly. So this is just one of the advantages. A disadvantage of social media, one may say it is a waste of time. One may say that it is distracting. One may say, or come with a number of different excuses, but I want to hear what you think. What do you think of social media? Do you think it is working positively in a constructive manner? Or is it something which is taking us back and is corrupting our societies and is opening us up to more problems? So let's watch a very short report on the topic of social media, and then when we come back, hopefully we will hear from you, read your comments on our Facebook page. The comment section is open, so please do jump to our Facebook page. You will see an image there of social media. Give us your comments. I will read them out live, reading them off my device. And if anybody has a call, I will also take that and we will build upon this discussion. So let's have a look at this very short report and then join me in just a few moments.
So I guess you came here to see a video on social media. But first, let me take a selfie. In the past decade, the number of people using social media has skyrocketed. When Facebook was founded by Mark Zuckerberg, a student at Harvard University, just 10 years ago, its use was limited to Harvard students. Since it became available for any user over 13 in the world just 8 years ago, in 2006, the website has acquired 1,310,000,000 users worldwide, making it the most widely used website in history. The fastest growing demographic of Facebook users is the 45 to 55-year-old age group. Also rapidly increasing are the number of businesses, both large and small, creating Facebook accounts to promote their products and services. Nearly any big name in music, sports, and movies that you could think of has a Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram page for users to like and follow. It's pretty obvious that we spend quite a bit of our time on social media, but does age play into it? Research has shown that 18 to 24-year-olds spend 3.8 hours on social media, 35 to 49-year-olds spend 3 hours, and 50 to 64-year-olds spend 2.4 hours. Judging from these statistics, it appears that younger individuals are the most captivated by social media. Social media definitely has its ups and downs. Social media can support communicating with people you haven't spoken to in a while, allowing conversations over long distances. People can also use social media to share info, such as homework assignments, photographs, or simply spreading the word on a certain topic. Finally, social media can be used to publish business and event details. For example, if someone hosts a birthday party, he or she can post the event details on a Facebook group page that only the guests can see. As fun and useful as social media can be, it has many serious issues as well. Let's start with the invasion of privacy. Whenever someone posts a picture or a status update, all of their friends can see it. This also includes accounts that appear to be safe that are secretly predators. Also, there is the concept of cyberbullying. Although insults on pictures and status updates can be deleted, the victim still sees them. This type of abuse can lead to depression and even suicide. When we constantly see people post pictures on their Instagram accounts of glamorous vacations and shots of them with their boyfriend or girlfriend, we start to feel what is called FOMO, the fear of missing out. This causes anxiety and makes people think that they are not having an enjoyable life because they only see the appealing photos posted by their friends. Furthermore, people can feel a pressure to fit in by dressing and behaving like the people they see on social media. If they don't have a social media account and don't post the right things on it, they just might be ignored by their friends. Similar to magazines and television, social media can potentially cause drops in self-esteem and distorted self-image in people, especially girls, by subjecting them to unrealistic beauty standards. Considering that social media can really make life difficult and cause unnecessary stress, it can be a great tool if we choose to correctly use it without addiction.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back after a very short report there, talking about pros and cons of social media. Now, would you agree with everything that was said on that report? Do you say, or do you feel that he is accurate in his conclusions or his predictions? Let me hear from you. What do you think? Do you think it is, or do you think there are more pros to social media, or do you think there are more cons to social media? And not just that, but I would also like to hear from you. How do you think as Muslims in the 21st century, how can we make use of social media in order to propagate and to spread the beautiful teachings of Al-Islam? So we have our phone lines are open, and not just that, but our Facebook page is also running, and we have a number of comments coming from our respective viewers. Let me read one of those comments, and then we will continue with the other comments. We have Brother Fairuz, who says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I think that social media has more cons than pros. First, because people become addicted to these means. Secondly, it makes people waste their time and neglect their lives and their families, as well as it moves us away from our religion. But the positives of social media may be rounded and distances, but you can receive news very quickly. So we must use social media to benefit us in our life and in our religion. So Brother Fairuz there gives a very fair and balanced opinion. He thinks that there are more cons to social media than there are pros. Now, would you agree with that? Our first comment comes from Brother Fairuz, who tells us his opinion. So once again, dear viewers, I encourage you to jump onto our Facebook page and to look at our image there. You will see the image come up on our screens very shortly. And leave your comments under that image, and hopefully I can read those out. Not just that, but we have another comment. Brother Fairuz, mashallah, very active, has sent us another comment. And he responds and says, yes, I feel that social media is a double-edged sword. But what I'm seeing, for example, in the social network, especially Facebook, there are many friends exploiting in a bad way, while that can be used to spread the values of tolerance and love. Also, we cannot be denied that a lot of teenagers use social media to benefit themselves and benefit others in religious ways and moral ways. So again, Brother Fairuz is mentioning the pros and cons here of social media. So, dear viewers, let's get active and let's hear your comments and your queries. Let me read out some interesting bits of information or statistics about social media, and then we can take it from there. Now, let me tell you about one of the possible pros. Social media sites spread information faster than any other form of media. Over 50% of people learn about breaking news on social media. So here you can find that a study was conducted, and many people now actually, to learn about social events or current events around the world, would now more likely turn to social media than they would to the television or turn to any kind of news outlet. So here again we get fresh information. Not just that, but it's also direct. So you get to hear it without any third-party involvement. So we can see the benefits in that. Not just that, but the World Wide Web is a portal for millions of people around the world to log on and access information at the click of a button. The internet has made information easily accessible, and with social networking sites such as Facebook and Twitter, it has further paved the way for bringing people together from all walks of life. For this reason, many Islamic projects and companies are using social networking to inform and promote their work and create a common ground between Muslims and non-Muslims. Many prominent scholars, sheikhs, imams, and learned individuals of Islam have created their own websites to promote the religion and clarify aspects of Islam through Q&A sessions and other forms of communication. Not just that, but dear viewers, in addition to this, there are various video portals such as YouTube, which gives users the opportunity to upload videos. And there are countless Quran interpretation, recitation, and Islamic lectures on the site, which can be accessed by anyone from around the world. This rapid sharing of information via the internet has made Muslims to spread da'wah to a wider audience and creates awareness of Islam, combating misinterpretations and further helping people who want to promote the religion. Now, let me try to bring forward another statistic or another bit of information. We had a look at a pro, so how about we look at a con? Some would say that social media enables the spread of unreliable and false information. 49.1% of people have heard false news via social media. That's a large proportion of people. Unfortunately, the information on social media cannot be verified. So people have to take it with a pinch of salt and see if it is accurate or not accurate. So social media, with its advantages of giving you news very quickly and very directly, but also the danger is that the news is unreliable. So you can imagine if you are doing some research or doing a dissertation at your university, you can't quote Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, but you have to quote more authentic or more reliable sources. So that's one possible con. Now, let's have a look at another pro. Law enforcement uses social networking sites to catch and to prosecute criminals. It is said that up to 67% of federal, state and local law enforcement professionals surveyed think that social media helps solve crimes more quickly. Would you say that's a positive thing? Where you have the police and secret services looking through your Facebook page and looking through various portals where they can see all your information, and they try to access criminal behavior. Some may say that's a pro, some may say that's a con, but that's another entity that comes along with social media. Let me give you the opposite to that, so which is a con. Social networking sites lack privacy and expose users to government and corporate intrusions. It is said that 13 million users said they had not set or did not know about Facebook's privacy settings, and 28% shared all or nearly all of their posts publicly. So yes, the governments or these agencies can use it to prevent crime, but at the same time, all of your information is out to the public, and it is out to these agencies who use this information not just for government purposes, but also for business purposes, where information is taken to market and to promote and to advertise and to sell things to you on a regular basis. So you have that problem there. Now, let's have a look at another pro. Let's try to keep these things balanced. Social networking sites help students to do better at school. It is said that 59% of students with access to the internet report that they use social networking sites to discuss educational topics, and 50% use the sites to talk about school assignments. So school children are enjoying the social networking facilities, and you can see a large portion, 59% of students are saying that they use it to share information, which is of course an excellent thing. Okay, now we have the exact opposite on the same subject. Students, so here's a con. Students who are heavy social media users tend to have lower grades. And according to a survey done in the United States, students who use social media had an average GPA of 3.06. And those that were not heavy users of social media had an average GPA of 3.82, showing that those who are heavily involved in social media are actually achieving lower results, even though we said they have greater access to information and assignments and work. So my dear viewers, you can see here that there are arguments on both sides. There will be people who will be voting for the pros, and there will be people who will be voting for the cons. But I'm here looking and waiting for your comments. We have a few more comments on our Facebook page, and when we come back from our break, we will talk about these comments and further look into the pros and cons of social media. So I will see you in just a few moments.
Many people judge Islam based on what the Muslims do. The fact is, Islam is perfect, but the Muslims are not. However, it is not hard for us to implement, and there are ways for us to be the ideal Muslims. Join me, Dr. Rayyan Arab, in this new program, The Ideal Muslim, so that we could discover the ways of how we could be ideal Muslims.
Why are we fighting each other? Life is short, time runs away.
Huda TV strives to remain the premier English language Islamic channel in the world. And to do so, we need your input. Send us your thoughts, suggestions and feedback through email at feedback@hoda.tv. Huda TV is committed to helping others, so why not help Huda TV share the message of Islam worldwide? Take part in helping spread the authentic message of Islam based on the Quran and the Sunnah throughout the world by sponsoring Huda TV. Don't miss this unique opportunity to gain the reward from Allah.
This is the Deen Show. This is This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Deen Show. From time to time, we answer some of your questions. We have so many important issues that we're dealing with here on the Deen Show, and we encourage you to come back here every week. And if you don't catch us on the TV station, you can go to thedeenshow.com where all of our shows are there.
It is important for us when we look at the issue of holiday myths that we look at the whole picture. And from the beginning of time, people worshipped the Creator in different ways. The Quran tells us in the chapter of the Bee, Surah An-Nahl, وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا أَنْ يَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ.
Maryam, how are you?
Good, alhamdulillah.
Thank you for being with us on the Deen Show.
You're welcome.
So how old are you again?
I'm 8 years old.
I didn't want to get that wrong. 8 years old. And you've memorized how many juz of the Quran?
I memorized 21 juz from the Quran.
21 juz. MashaAllah.
As you know that there is no concept of clergyman in Islam.
There isn't?
There is not.
Okay.
And this idea is supposed to be very liberating. Nobody comes between you and your Creator.
Okay.
You do not need an operator. It's a direct call. So Islam rejects the whole notion of clergyman. So a sheikh, imam is a title that is given to a person like myself when the community feels that you're worthy of it. And it's just a title out of respect.
This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, dear viewers, after a very short break there. And we're still talking about the topic of the day, which is the social media. Pros and cons, to be more specific. And we are here trying to hear what you have to say. Would you agree that there are more pros, or would you agree that there are more cons? You are still able to vote and put your comments out. Jump and join us onto Facebook where you can put forward your ideas. Now, let's have a look at another comment that comes to us from Sister Duski, who responds on the issue of social network. And she says, in my opinion, social media has more bad than good, yet if we look in the past, there was not any social media, but yet people were living even happier. Sister Duski thinks that there are more cons than there are pros, because people now are so heavily involved in social media, they don't give their families much time, or they don't spend enough time with one another talking. Not just that, but how many times have you gone out with your friends, or been sitting with your families, your wife, your husband, your mother, or your father, and you're all sitting around the table, but yet every single one of them is using his phone, or is using his or her gadget, and nobody is talking to anybody. Not just that, but have you ever experienced the fact that you are sitting in the same room as somebody, and yet you are talking to them on Facebook or on Twitter or on some form of communication, when you could very simply put it down, walk up to the person and have a chat, have a conversation, speak to each other face to face without having any kind of device in your hands. I think we've all experienced that to some degree. So yes, Sister Duski does bring forward a very beautiful point, and that is of family relations, that possibly before the invent of social media, families were a lot more closer together, and they were communicating and talking with each other a lot more. So brothers and sisters, please do add your comments to the program. We are here and we would like to hear everything that you have to say on the subject. Let me give you some more statistics, some more information about social media and what the world thinks about this subject. I'll give you a pro. So, social networking sites allow people to improve their relationships and to make new friends. 70% of adult social networking users visit the sites to connect with friends and families. So one can argue that actually it brings you closer to your friends and your families, especially if they are far away. If they are living abroad in different countries, previously you'd have to wait for the phone call, which would come once a week or once a month. And even before that, you had to wait for a letter, which would come once every 2-3 months. But now with the social media, you can talk to your loved ones, your caring ones, any time of the day. with messages, with phone calls. So yes, of course, one pro would definitely be the fact that you are able to come closer to your loved ones. Let's look at a con. Social networking sites can lead to stress and offline relationship problems. Many a times, so a university in Edinburgh business school study found the more Facebook friends a person has, the more stressful the person finds Facebook to be. Okay, so we find that people who have lots of friends on Facebook are complaining of stress, that they have to communicate with all these people, respond to all these messages, keep up to date with all the things coming up on their timeline. So we have a rise of stress there. Let's look at another pro. Social media sites help employers to find employees and job seekers find work. 64% of companies are on 2 or more social networks for recruiting because of the wider pool of applicants and more efficient searching capabilities. 89% of job recruiters have hired employees through LinkedIn, 29% through Facebook, 15% through Twitter. So here we can see that employers are very active on social media, making use of all the different ways of employing people. 89%, as we said, of job recruiters have hired people through LinkedIn. Now that's fantastic. Many a times we complain that we can't find work or we're unable to get access to big companies. Now we have these beautiful and fruitful ways of reaching out and trying to get our CVs, our credibilities and our abilities out to companies so we can find work and move up the ladder in the social framework. So here we are seeing a great advantage, and employers are also recognizing that and are searching for people through these various different ways. Now let us have a look at a con. Now social media sites can lead to stress, as we mentioned, but social media can harm job stability at the same time. So yes, employers do use it to find people, but at the same time, if you're using social media too much, then many of the companies or employers are complaining. Why? Because job recruiters reported negative reactions to finding profanity. 61% of employers have claimed that they found their employees involved in unethical, unmoral activities on the internet. Not just that, but they have seen the usage of illegal drugs or sexual content or pictures with alcohol or behavior that does not befit the company. So we have both sides. It's a double-edged sword, that one would say, that it has lots of cons, but at the same time it also has lots of cons. What would you say? Has anybody found a job through social media? Has any recruiters called you up and asked you to come forward and have an interview and to speak about your CV through the social media? If so, give us a call, give us your comments, give us your queries, jump onto Facebook and give us your comments underneath the image there as well. Let's move over to a very short report, and it's also tackling the issue of pros and cons in social media. And then when we get back, hopefully we'll read some more of your comments and continue with the program. So I'll see you in just a few moments. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, dear viewers, after watching a short report there on the pros and cons of social media. Now, dear viewers, let's continue looking at some of the pros and looking at some of the cons, and maybe we can generate some ideas and get you to hear or get you to get engaged with our program. And we encourage you to go to our Facebook page, Viewers Pulse, and you will see the image there of our social media discussion, and you can add your comments, your questions, your queries, anything that you have under that particular image, and I will try my best to read it out here live on our program, Viewers Pulse. Now, let's look at another pro. Social media facilitates political change. Social networking sites give social movements a quick, no-cost method to organize, to disseminate information and mobilize people. Not just that, but it is reported that across the Arab world, which is known as the Arab Spring, this was generated by social media, which obviously was a fast spread of information, quick to organize and to rally people. So we can see that social media has its effects not just in your workplace, not just in your social network, but also politically. You can get involved and bring about change through social media. Let's look at a con. Criminals use social media to commit and promote crimes. Gangs use the sites to recruit younger members, coordinate violent crimes, and threaten other gangs through these activities. Many times, unfortunately, our young brothers and sisters become duped into thinking that what they're seeing on social media is real. And unfortunately, people can take advantage of their vulnerabilities, take advantage of their naivety. But this is a con which comes alongside with social media. Another con is the fact that social networking sites facilitate cyber bullying. Unfortunately, this has now become a phenomenon, and there are researches taking place looking at this concept of cyber bullying. It is said that up to 49.5% of students reported problems which led to harmful or life-threatening results. 1 in 5 Americans use social media for healthcare information at the same time. So we can see that unfortunately some people will use social media to threaten other people or to cause harm or to cause grief to other people. So, dear viewers, let's have a look at another possible con that comes along with social media. And that is that children may endanger themselves by not understanding the public and the viral nature of social networking sites. And here we're talking more in particularly in a sexual content where you'll find that men of an older age will try to disguise themselves as young people, and they will unfortunately tap into the minds of young people and try to engage in discussions and possibly even try to meet up with them, which then obviously leads to its consequences. And that is a grave danger of social networking and really needs to be taken into care. And on that point, parents really need to be engaged and need to be aware of what their children are doing on the internet. I mean, there are lots of benefits, but this is a very big harm, a very big danger that we should pay special attention to. Now, One other benefit that we can also look at from social media is that social media can help disarm social stigmas. The Sticks and Stones campaign, for example, in the United States, uses Twitter to reduce stigmas around mental health and learning disabilities. Unfortunately, we find that certain communities and cultures have certain traditions that may not conform or may not be positive to society, and we can use social media as a gentle approach to try to rectify these stigmas and try to promote health and betterment in society. Dear viewers, that's one side of the spectrum where we look at the pros and cons of the social media network, but at the same time, as Muslims, do we have a responsibility to get involved with social media? Are we allowed to use social media? Was it not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who said, "Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmati wal maw'idati al hasana wajadilhum billati hiya ahsan"? Did not Allah Azza wa Jalla say, call in the name or in the way of your Lord with hikmah, with wisdom, and make sure it is husna, it is kind and it is proportionate. وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ, and discuss with fellow people, with fellow mankind in a manner which is best. So would that not include the use of social media? Would it not encourage us to get into discussions, get into debates, or to get into da'wah, as we call it, with the wider community? Of course it would. Nobody would disagree. But how can we do that? What are the ways? For all those who are watching the program, I would encourage you to get involved in da'wah. First and foremost, the Prophet ﷺ, he did say, بَلِّغُ عَنِّي وَلَوْ آيَةً, convey from me, even if it is one verse. Now, you all know Surah Al-Fatiha. We read it in our prayers, in every single rak'ah in our prayer, and that's including of 7 verses. So we are all under the obligation of teaching and spreading the message of Islam to mankind. Now we have social media. How can we use social media to do this? Let's come up with some ideas. The first idea would come with is to use social networking sites. For example, we can use social networking sites such as Facebook to create Islamic pages on various aspects of Islam, which can help to promote the religion and leave space for comments from your friends and from your family. So here we go. You can open up Facebook page. This is a good starter, and use it to promote Islam. You can take videos and reminders and messages from various sources, put them onto your page, and then spread this page to your friends and to your families, and hopefully, inshallah ta'ala, somebody will benefit and somebody may even embrace Islam through your hard work. So that's Facebook. What else can we do? What about creating websites? Having an Islamic website. Now, if you create your own Islamic website with authentic information on the principles of Islam, you can spread well-known Islamic information to people from across the world. So that's one possible avenue, is to open up your own page and to invite Muslims and non-Muslims to your official webpage and have all the information that you need there so people can engage and read about the true teachings of Islam. So that's another option, opening your own web page. The third thing that we can do, and this is very interesting, is to open up a blog. How many times have we read articles, read information coming from blogs, coming from certain writers, organizations, and we've been affected, we've been motivated to do whatever it is that we're doing. So many Muslims use blogging as a form to spread da'wah, and there are many blogs on the internet which are based on Islam and explore topics surrounding Muslims from all over the world. There are many blogs, my dear brothers and sisters, on the internet, and many leading writers, sheikhs, imams have had their articles featured on these blogs. So please, you can get active. If you are a writer, especially those who are well versed with English or Arabic or whatever language it is in your country, if you are literate and you are well read and you can write, and your writings have an effect, then I would strongly encourage you to write your own blog, to start writing articles and spread these articles to people, because blogs have a very powerful message and people actually do sit and read the articles there. So that's the third thing you can do on your social media, is to open up a blog. The fourth and final thing that you can do is to open up internet Islamic forums. Now, forums are one of the most active places, I would say, on the internet, where you get to engage in discussions, where you can debate and discuss and you can give people time to present their views openly and freely without having any kind of fear or worry of what people are going to say. So I would encourage you there. There are many Islamic forums on the internet which often come to Islamic news sites. Islamic forums give an opportunity for both Muslims and non-Muslims to post questions and obtain answers through conversing with one another on the forum. In addition, Islamic forums provide the opportunity to clarify issues and share experiences which can further promote the spread of Islam. Many non-Muslims and people who are interested in Islam participate on forums. So here we go, dear brothers and sisters. You know, the forums are an excellent way of spreading the message, an excellent way to engage in discussion. So we have 4 ways that I came up with, but I'm sure you have more. I'm sure you are far more creative than myself, and let's have a look at those. So you can use, you can create your own Facebook page, you can create your own web page, you can create your own blog, and you can also create a forum allowing you to engage in discussions with people. We have another comment on our Facebook page, and this comes from Brother Fairuz again. MashaAllah, Brother Fairuz is very active with us today on Viewers Pulse. We thank you very much, brother, for being with us here. You write, hey Sheikh, I apologize first and foremost. I'm a sister, not a brother, so I do apologize, sister, for that. As you said in the program when you read my comment, I am very happy to read my comments. I really love your show and always followed it. May Allah guide you to spread the values of Islam in this wonderful channel. Although I do not speak English well, but I am following your programs as always. MashaAllah, Sister Fairuz, I apologize. Sister Fairuz, we appreciate your comments. It's very moving. It's your comments, all the viewers here on Huda TV, it's you that motivate us and you drive us to do the work that we are doing. We appreciate every single comment, question, query. Even if you like some of our posts on our Facebook page, we appreciate it so much because it motivates us. It encourages us to know that there are people who are affected in the positive way. Huda TV is your channel, and we try our very best to bring you the best programs that will increase us and better us as Muslims across the world. You can only just switch on your televisions and see the situation in which we are living, and we must come out with solutions. We must come out with some kind of answers to the problems that we are living in. And Huda TV is trying its very best to solve those problems and to bring forward authentic information. At the same time, many times you find information, things on the internet or on the media, and they call it Islam, but you know as well as I do that is not as authentic as it is meant to be. So dear viewers, I would like to thank all of you for tuning in, and a special thanks to Sister Fairuz and Sister Duxi, who gave us their numerous comments on our Facebook page. And I'd also like to thank the Huda team for their very hard work, especially those behind the cameras. They work very hard to make these programs possible. So on that note, I would like to end and thank all of you for your support. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We'll talk about Huda, we'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. We'll talk about Huda, we'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your